We landed in Guatemala absolutely shattered after a day of travelling.
We have finally arrived in Guatemala of what has been a mammoth day of travelling. On the way, we've got a sneak peek of all the volcanoes nearby and the two big ones here, Acatenango and Fuego, which we're actually going to climb in a couple of days. But for now, we are exploring Antigua. We're at a little spot called Hostel Antigueño, which I'm really surprised by. It's really nice inside. There's like tables to sit and eat, there's lounges, there's lockers to store bags, like it's a nice spot. It is so nice here, it almost doesn't feel real. Like you've got these really nice cobblestone streets, these really colourful short buildings, and then surrounding it just like a big volcano in the background.
First things first, coffee. When in Guatemala, we headed to Fat Cat Cafe, a great spot with strong coffee.
There's no latte art, but I'm so confident it tastes good. You don't need it.
We've been in Guatemala for the best part of 1 hour. And what better way to start it than with a coffee? Yeah.
Some serious heavy punchy coffee. Oh, sound effects as well. That's so nice.
Stereotypical way of starting a holiday to Central America. Coffee, taco, and then probably nap. Siesta. How do you feel after the coffee?
I'm so buffed.
Now it was time for food. We headed to Takul, and yes, that's actually the name.
That is a £4 frozen margarita.
That is very tempting.
It was cheap and tasty. The guac in Central America is the best because the avocados just hit different. We had homemade tortilla chips, tacos on thick maize base with local ingredients, and lime juice everywhere. I tried every sauce on the table like a child left unsupervised. Guatemala is famous for coffee and chocolate, so we signed up for a chocolate making course, a famous thing to do here. Chocolate was a serious business in Mayan culture. We headed to Echua Chocolataria, local family-run place full of beans, cacao beans.
Echua means monkey god of the cacao.
We learnt about how cacao was used in Mayan culture, about how one time it was used even as money and in rituals.
Suck the seed?
Yeah, chocolate. Feel the flavor, it's like a lychee.
We tasted raw cacao, which, spoiler, is horrifically bitter and tastes nothing like the chocolate that we know.
Very bitter.
And they walked us through the fermentation, the drying, the grinding, and then let us loose in the kitchen, which is the best part. We made actual chocolate in molds, chucked in some sugar, nuts, and even went rogue and put in some chili.
I'm looking forward to trying the chili one. I want to see what the chili one tastes
It
like.
goes on.
Yeah, please.
And then we sipped on some hot cacao while our instructor, an absolute madman in the best way, got us singing some kind of chocolate anthem.
I love chocolate.
I have no idea what was happening, but we were all joining in. We left buzzing on sugar and history, holding a bag of chocolate and humming a song we didn't know we knew.
Delicious chocolate.
So nice.
Our chocolate making experience was so much fun. A disgusting fact is that they were using cacao along with human sacrifice for this special drink for the gods, which sounds absolutely foul.
Our next stop was the Jade Museum. Jade was also a really big deal in Mayan culture. It symbolized life, power, and was sacred. They used it in rituals, wore it as jewelry, and even buried people with it.
And we learned when they found the ruins, they would find the skeletons and the skulls, and there would be jade in the teeth.
Now, even if you're not a jewelry enthusiast, it's still an interesting place to come for the history. You can see the jade masks that were used for burials, believed to help guide people into the afterlife. As the sun went down, we wandered the cobbled streets of Antigua. Everything felt warm, golden, and kind of magical as we headed for dinner at Samsara, a vegetarian place with a chilled-out vibe. I had a falafel tortilla and Sam got the Korean barbecue tacos. The food was super fresh and really wholesome.
It's not as punchy as I thought it was going to be. That's alright.
Then we went full tourist and got a crepe from Luna de Miel. It was stuffed with Guatemalan chocolate, which was dripping.
Chocolate immense. It's just amazing.
We were sat on the edge of the street, legs dangling off the bench, with the warm night air around us. To end the night, we headed to Café No Sé, a hidden gem on the edge of town. It was candlelit, dark and moody. The kind of place that at home would be called hipster, but here just felt cool. They had this insane mezcal list. Mezcal is kind of like tequila. I'll probably get shot for saying that, but genuinely the best mezcal I've ever had. Sam got a mezcal mug. I've said mezcal so many times now. And sometimes they also have live music. The whole vibe was just perfect, and it was an amazing end to the day.
We are back on the beautiful streets of Antigua. Just look at that. God, have you ever seen like a street and then a big volcano at the back of the street?
The next morning we had breakfast at Café Condesa. It's right on the main square inside this big old colonial building with courtyards and creaky floors.
Coffee number 2 in Guatemala, and this is absolutely delicious coffee. I've got some huevos guatemalicos, some refried beans, some fresh fruits, some bread, coffee from Guatemala, Antigua, and Sam has got an egg salsa tortilla. Looks very nice.
The food was proper local. In Central America, it's basically rude not to eat beans for breakfast, and these beans were really good.
That is delicious. I love refried beans. That is so nice.
We were running late, so we jumped into a tuk-tuk and held on as it rattled us all the way to Finca Philadelphia for our coffee tour.
It looks amazing here, like a gated community, cobbled stones.
So beautiful.
This place is a working coffee farm just outside the city.
Finca Philadelphia was founded since 1870, 154 years. It's a Guatemalan family since then.
Lush hills, rows of coffee trees, and since it was harvest time, there were people out picking bright red coffee cherries. We saw the coffee plants from seed to full-grown trees and picked a cherry, popped it open, and there was the bean inside. The guide showed us how they wash and dry the beans on these massive concrete slabs, and then we put on very stylish hairnets to go into the roasting room, which smelled incredible. They pack up the coffee shop to ship abroad. That's where most of the best stuff goes, and it gets exported. The way it was all stacked up in this room honestly felt like we were in a scene from Narcos. And then came the best part, the tasting.
This is the tasting lab where the master tasters will taste every single batch of roasted coffee. I wonder if you can apply for it here.
We got a full demo on how to taste espresso properly. Little stir, little sip, and cleanse the palate with water. It was intense but really sweet black coffee.
There's just no bitter us, or graininess.
Rich flavor.
So we are going to go grab some food. We're going to get some lunch. And then we've got a walking tour. It's like a self-guided walking tour that we made ourselves. Kiran will explain that a little bit later. And just walk around Antigua.
Back in the city, we grabbed an acai bowl at Cafe. So good they named it twice. I've been addicted to acai recently, and we followed it up with a cheesy basil pesto crepe because we needed the fuel. Can I eat the flour?
Yeah,
or no?
you can eat
I can eat the flour.
Okay.
Thank you. To make the most of the last few hours, I set up a self-guided walking tour. First up, Cerro de La Cruz,
which apparently gives you a really nice viewpoint over the whole city, so look forward to checking it out.
Now, it's a bit of a hike outside of the city, uphill all the way, but when you get there, you've got this massive cross on a hill with the best view over Antigua. You really can see the whole grid layout of the city from above. And that layout is no accident, it's from colonial Spanish planning.
And there's a huge volcano at the back. Looks pretty cool, doesn't it?
Does look really cool.
We then stopped at Iglesia de La Merced. I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's how I'm saying it. A big yellow church with white detailing. Super photogenic and definitely one you won't be able to miss.
And, interestingly, as you'd expect in the area, built to withstand eruptions and earthquakes. It's also interesting to see the Mayan influence in the structure as well, and you can see that really well on the cherubs outside the entrance, which have a kind of Mayan vibe-like head.
Next up was the Santa Catalina Arch, probably the most iconic spot in Antigua. It's on every postcard and was built so the nuns could walk between the convent buildings without going onto the street.
The reason it was built is so that the nuns who live very secretive lives could pass between the two buildings in the arch without being seen. And then later on they added the closet. It's pretty epic, especially the view.
We then hit up Mercado de Artesanias El Carmen. It felt like it went on forever.
Isn't it? On the outside you can't even tell it's here.
Endless clothes, stools, jewelries, trinkets. I was hunting for a poncho, and I found one, victorious.
I bought a poncho, which I will show you later. What are you looking for?
The way out. It's like amazing here, isn't it?
As with every market, is negotiate the price down a lot. Like, it always starts high, you speak to them a bit, it goes down. But what's nice is that here no one's really pushy, no one's really in your face trying to sell you things. So it's quite a nice change for like a street market.
We finished our walk at the central square, Parque Central. It's always lively with vendors and families and pigeons absolutely everywhere. And on one side you can see the front of the cathedral, but behind it are the interesting parts.
Behind the face of the cathedral, which still has a small chapel inside, is the ruins.
The ruins from the original building that got destroyed by the earthquakes. Still standing, kind of.
So this was my purchase. I feel like a true Central American now. Next purchase is going to be one of those little hats.
We walked over to Tanque de la Union, an old public wash spot where people used to gather to do laundry, which is now a peaceful place with an amazing volcano view through the trees. And then for dinner we went to Fridas.
Which, one, comes highly recommended, and two, we passed yesterday was absolutely bustling. So we have table.
It was easily the best meal we've had in Central America so far. I got a mushroom, veggie and pineapple taco, and Sam had fajitas. Unreal.
And I love there that they tend to always give you their spices, and they're always like a not spicy, a medium spice, but a super spicy salsa, which I love.
You could easily spend a week here in Antigua, exploring markets, churches, cafes, chocolate spots, coffee farms and volcano views. Speaking of volcanoes, our next stop is climbing Volcano Acatenango. Make sure you follow to inspire your adventure.